Hello everyone. So we are on to reading number 38. This reading is valuation of contingent claims. Here contingent means options. We will understand this chapter with a story here. This is a very interesting chapter. I love this chapter when I was going through its different LOS, and I felt that there is a better way of showing or presenting this chapter than just like going through the LOS one by one. So let's start with a story here. So to give the basic idea of this reading, let's say we have a gentleman here. His name is John. I'm going to select the pen here. So his name is John, and John is observing the stock price of a particular company. Let's say he is looking at the stock price of Walmart, and he's trying to see like how the Walmart stock price is changing over time. So he was able to draw it. Sorry for that. So he was able to draw a trend of the Walmart stock price, and the trend was something like this. So at time right now, the time is t0. So let's draw a line here, and we can call this t is equal to 0. That's where we are right now. The stock price is $100. So that's the price of one Walmart stock. Now he says that I want to buy the Walmart stock, but I want to buy a year from now. So he wants to buy a stock somewhere. If I extend this line somewhere over here, t is equal to 1. So he wants to buy the stock at this point of time. So he goes home and does his calculation and find out that the right price to buy the stock a year from now is, let's say, 115 US dollars. That is the price he's able to calculate. So he says, okay, I'm going to buy the Walmart stock a year from now at the price of 115. So this will be strike price, 115. Then he also adds that, okay, what if the actual price in future for Walmart stock is less than 115? In that case, he says that I do not want to buy the stock. So only buy the stock if the spot price, the actual price in future is more than 115. If the actual price in future is less than 115, then do not buy the stock. So buy the stock if it's more than 115. If it's less than 115, do not buy the stock. So that is what his criteria is. Now he goes into the market and tries to find someone who can agree to his conditions and willing to sign the agreement with him. So he goes to the market and he is able to find this gentleman, and his name is Pete. Let's Pete, and we have John here. So John tells Pete, okay, I want to buy a stock a year from now at the price of 115, but if the actual price in future is less than 115, I do not want to buy it. If it's more than 115, then I want to buy it. Then Pete says, fair enough, I can definitely do that, but if the actual price in future, if the price in future is more than 115 US dollars, then in that case Pete will be selling the stock to John at a cheaper rate compared to what he can get from the market. So Pete says there is some mismatch, and I need to go back home and do my calculation and see like how should we deal with the situation, because Pete is taking some additional risk. And because Pete is taking some additional risk, so Pete has to get some premium from John to sign the agreement. Then that premium which Pete is supposed to be getting now at t is equal to 0, we call that as option premium. We can also call it as option price. So Pete is asking for option premium or option price from John. Now, what should that option price be? Pete says, let me do some math, let me crunch some numbers, and I will let you know what should be my option price. Then he goes home and try to understand what's the best way to capture that premium, that price for taking the additional risk if the stock price goes higher than 115. So that is where we have the Black Scholes Merton model and binomial model and Black model comes into picture. The idea behind these three models is to calculate that option price or option premium. The idea behind these three models is to help Pete out sign the agreement with John after getting some option premium or option price. So this is the gist of this reading. So let's revise some fundamentals from our CFA level 1. In the CFA level 1 we talk about options, and in the option we had call option and put option. So call option will have two parties. One party will be on the long on call side and second party will be on the short on call side, and these two will be the opposite parties to each other. Long on call means right to buy the underlying asset. In our example, it was a stock, it was a Walmart stock. So right to buy the underlying asset at an agreed upon price, which we said 115, which is also called strike price or exercise price. And to have that right to buy, and this is very unique, the right to buy but not the obligation to buy, so only right to buy. So he is not taking any obligation. So because he is not taking any obligation, the party which is long on call is not taking any obligation. In our example it was John is not taking any obligation, so he has to pay for the right, and that payment is called call option price or call option premium. Then the opposite party to John is Pete. Pete will be short and call. So he will be on the short side of the call option, and he will be having the obligation to sell the underlying asset. And to assume that obligation, he is going to receive the call option price from John. So it's pretty basic here. Similarly, we will have put option. So in the put option we have long on put party and we have short on put party. Long on put means right to sell the stock at an agreed upon price, and to gain that right and not have the obligation, this party, long on put party, they have to pay premium, they have to pay price, they have to pay premium to short on put party. So the short on put party, it will be the opposite to long on put party, and then they will have the obligation to buy the stock, and then they will receive the put option price or put option premium. So this reading 38, it talks about valuation of the contingent claim. So this reading talks about valuation of the contingent claims. So what it's trying to say is that we are going to find the price of the option. That is what they are trying to find out, price of the option. And how will they find out the price of the option? They will find out the price of the option by either binomial model or Black Scholes Merton model or Black model. Using one of these three models, we are trying to find the price of the option. So So in this next slide, again, I'm basically repeating myself here, talking about the basic idea of the reading. It again says that the basic idea of the reading is to calculate the present value of the option. So when we say present value of the option, basically what it means is the exercise value, present value of the exercise value. So what does it mean, exercise value? So let's say we are here and t is equal to 0, and 1 year from now t is equal to 1. At this point of time, Walmart stock price is 100, and at t is equal to 1, which is in future, we do not know this, we are just assuming right now, and let's assume the Walmart stock price is 125. Okay, the strike price we had in the example was 115. So this is the strike price. It is also called exercise price. So we have the strike price and we have the future price, the price of Walmart stock 1 year from now. We have that, which is $125, and strike price is 115. So the exercise value, because we want to explain what this exercise value is, so in that case, exercise value will be 125 minus 115 is equal to 10. So this will be our exercise value. And then this exercise value, we have, it's a 1 year from now, it's in the future, so we have to divide this by the appropriate risk-free rate of return to get the current value at t is equal to 0. So that is what we are trying to calculate, present value of the option exercise price, exercise value. This is the whole idea behind this chapter. Then it says present value of the call option, present value of the put option. So these two can be done by binomial model or Black-Scholes-Merton model. And then present value of the option on future forward, this can be done by Black model. Then at the end of this reading, it talks about the impact of small changes on few variables on the option value. So if our option value was, exercise value was 10, and that's our option price a year from now, that's a no arbitrage value 10. So we have to divide this by risk-free rate of return to get the current value. And then it says what is the impact of other parameters on this option price. So those other parameters are, for example, what is the impact of volatility, what is the impact of RFR, what is the impact of spot price, what is the impact of time to maturity, what is the impact whether we have a cash flow in the form of dividend. So what are the impact of all these variables on the option price? That is what we are going to talk in the very last section of this chapter. So if you guys have any question, please let me know and I will try to resolve those questions. I will start with the first and second LOS here pretty soon in my next video. Really appreciate you going through this video, and hope you subscribe the channel and you like my video. Thank you.